Hello there and welcome to episode 10 of the TEW 2020 save. From then to now, we take the World Wrestling Federation from 1992 and get as close to the modern day as we possibly can. We're entering March, which is WrestleMania month. We've got 4 more shows before WrestleMania, 4 TV tapings, and so whilst January we were in the Great Lakes region, we went down to the southeast for February, for March, and for WrestleMania we are staying in the tri-state area, which does mean I can announce that WrestleMania will be in the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, New York. That is going to be where WrestleMania will be taking place this year. Was tempted to do MSG, but I didn't quite think it was big enough. With only for this point, because I think if we're getting 16,000 for a TV taping, I'm not going to run WrestleMania in an 18,000 arena. We are in the Nassau Coliseum, though, for our first episode of this month. Uniontown, New York. Let's go, and let's have a fun show with another addition to our tag team roster. So as we're getting closer to WrestleMania, we're starting to build these undercard stories a little more. As such, we're going to get less jobbers on the show, let's say. It's going to be more mid-card guys fighting each other to get on the show, pretty much. So our opening match is 2 of those mid-card guys. It's Marty Jannetty and Rick Martel, the model. And it is Martel who picks up the victory with the crab just over 8 minutes. Gets a 59 rating, so pretty good start. It's the same rating that Martel gets. Marty Jannetty, a 51. And, ooh! You might have got a little bit of a teaser as to who my debut is there, if you paid enough attention. So let's see though. Gets 59 for Martel, 51 for Jannetty. We move on as Tatanka makes his entrance whilst Martel is coming out. Is still in the ring. So Martel gets annoyed and bumps past Tatanka on the ramp. It's just a little angle. It's going to build up to a match. It's going to be an undercard match at WrestleMania, because we can't just have 5 matches which are all main events. That's not how WrestleMania works. 57 rating, good stuff. Tatanka quickly gets his win, goes 644, picks up the win over Kato with the Indian Death Drop. Gets a 48 rating, 49 for Tatanka, 40 for Kato. Kato and Fuji did not work well together. Maybe we do bring him back to his Paul Diamond character and get rid of Fuji. And also Tatanka's off his game as well, so we probably put him in the mid-50s. So that match against Martel is probably going to get around a 58 rating if both are on their game. Haku and the Barbarian challenge Koko Beware for a singles match next week. It's going to be Haku versus Koko. Gets a 47 rating. It's just a little setup segment to move us forward. Natural Disasters take on the Smoking Guns, and it's the Disasters who pick up the win. When Earthquake pins Bart Gunn with the Earthquake Splash, but it's the post-match which is the big bit here. As the Nasty Boys turn on the Natural Disasters, and Earthquake and Typhoon turn babyface. I put them all on the potential babyface turn because I didn't want to give away who was actually turning. So, Knobs and Sags are staying heel. The Natural Disasters are going babyface, and the Jimmy Hart family is split. And now we get our debut. You may have seen it earlier, but it's the Miracle Violence Connection. Dr. Death Steve Williams and Terry Gordy, they were both on handshake deals with All Japan at the start of this save, so I decided to poach them. Especially once Ted DiBiase went down with his injury. But the Miracle Violence session, a 70 for Williams, a 62 for Gordy. Their in-ring stats are insane. They're going to be a phenomenal tag team for us to have around throughout this decade. And I'm looking forward to seeing what we can do with them. Steve Williams picks up the win, pinning Butch with the Doctor Bomb. The fact that they're getting 70 in a 5-minute match, that is only 4 below what Hogan gets. So, this is going to be a damn good one. Next up, they get interviewed quickly. I mean, neither of them were great on the mic, which may be their biggest drawback here in the WWF. But Gene Okerlund's handy to have around. He boosts these segments. And they're going to be a great little heel tag team to have. Now we're going to our main event, our first main event. This is Jake the Snake Roberts defeat Jim Neidhart with the DDT. Gets 70 rating, goes 16 minutes. Jim Neidhart was really off his game, gets a 51. Jake gets a 77, which is great stuff. That should be a good match with him and Bret at Mania. That is pretty much the entire extent of the Bret Jim match Jake build today. But to be fair, having Jake Roberts beat Bret's cousin after beating his brother about 3 or 4 weeks back, that's a little solid build which has been going on steadily here. But then get Hogan bursting into Ric Flair's box, and we get a brawl through the crowd in the early 90s. They brawl through the crowd, they brawl to the back. It's a great little segment. It basically, Hogan won his match last week, so he's in the final. Flair doesn't want Hogan to win. And the main event sees The Undertaker defeat Randy Savage with a Tombstone Piledriver in just under 19 minutes. Gets an 87 for Savage, a 70 for Taker. Slowly build. Savage is a great babyface. Taker's legendary gimmick. Taker was penalised for stamina, which, we only need 15 minutes for world-class match ratings in this product, so I'm not massive. That's not one I'm going to panic about. If he's able to go 19 minutes and only get a slight stamina penalty, that's actually a pretty good start for someone who should be a main eventer for 20 odd years. He was still main event. Yeah, I think 20 years from this is 2012. His last real world title win was 2010 when he was feuding with Kane, wasn't it? Yeah, by 2011 he'd gone part-time, but he was still a massive star. He still is to this day, 30 years later. 78 rating though, good stuff. And the main event segment sees Hogan come out from his brawl with Flair. He's clearly won it, but we don't see all of it because it happened during the match. And Hogan and The Undertaker face off in the ring. This Tuesday in Texas, Survivor Series 91, all built up to here. We're getting Hogan versus Undertaker next week on Superstars. What do we get overall? It's an 81, so we somehow managed to still keep above the ratings we needed, which, considering we didn't rely anywhere near as much on the amount of different promos, suggests that we are actually starting to improve quite quickly here, and that is good news. I look forward to seeing where we go next. We've got 3 more episodes of Superstars until WrestleMania. Next week it's confirmed. It's Koko Beware versus Haku, and it's Hogan versus The Undertaker. That's a massive show. I hope it does well, and I'll see you guys then. Goodbye!